pretty excited about the third session. We knew that it basically didn't mean anything. We were still going to get to the final, so I was ready to go out there and have a bit of fun. Well done, boys.
Two good boys.
Well done, eh? Well done. You did well. You did well.
We tried.
I was pretty calm coming in today after round 2 against Jack Lynx, but it's always going to be a challenge coming up against BCF.
We're out there for pride today. If we convert every opportunity and take some momentum going into the bar round, that's certainly going to pay dividends.
Because it's our final round, we don't really have to go easy on the area. We can hit them for maximum fish before we move, so it's win or lose. Nobody comes here to lose, we all come up here to win.
Anglers ready?
Team Firefly ready?
Team BCF ready?
3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go.
When we took off, we could basically see that Team BCF was going where we wanted to go, and we were zigzagging and both heading up at the river. And I could see that Dean was heading up to, we call it number 2 spot.
Where majority of our fish come from on the first round, we decided to stop there first.
The boat race was a bit more tighter than anticipated, and as we approached a spot where we weren't sure whether Dan was going to go there, Dan seemed to slow down behind us.
Yeah, mate, it was slowing it down. There's a whole bunch of shags through here, and Dean pulled up to fish them. I don't want to spook them. We're all here to catch fish, so it'd be bad sportsmanship to just go and waste all these fish for him. It wouldn't be fair to beat him that way. So.
Dan and Dean, they're very similar fishermen. With regards to sooty grunter, both are going to come up with a similar strategy. So we had a feeling we were potentially going to have to share the areas of the fish that we planned on trying to hit pretty hard.
We only really had 2 key locations. Those 2 spots were the jackpot, you know. There was probably 50% of the sooties in the lake in both of those spots.
So we arrived at the number 3 spot right up the end of the river.
Yes, thank you very much for giving us this one, but now we know you've just taken the next one. We're now stuck with 1 spot.
I knew the game plan of Team BCF would have been pretty similar to what they'd done in the previous sessions. What him? Weed or?
No, it's fish.
It was one of those things that's tournament fishing, and we all have a good idea on how to catch them. Yep. Oh, pull the hooks. Seeing each other in each other's spots is just part of it.
We hit all our key trees. Looking at the water, you think everything's fine. The birds are all there, everything's good. The birds start doing their thing, and the fish aren't doing their thing. Normally with that many birds and what's going on, there'll be fish everywhere. Looking around, there's no fish. I'm already nervous. I'm assuming Liam's already nervous. Neither of us spoke a word. But you could just tell it wasn't going to be right.
Got him? Yep. Nice.
Little one. I've come in alongside the other side of the tree, and I was on, and the fish fought well and come out, and it was the first fish in the boat, and nerves are settled.
You right, mate? A little slip. First tree we went to, it was pretty much on straight away. When we fished in the previous session, we fished the same spot. We got there later in the day, obviously, because we fished all the spots leading up to it. And this time we went straight there, and there was lots of fish there straight away. There you go, mate. Yep. Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one. We knew it was a pretty good fish straight away. It ripped out into the deep water, and we fought it on from there.
Well done, mate.
So after I caught a nice fish, Warren's thrown in there into the same snag and got another one.
Yep.
Got him.
Good fish.
Good fish. Drive us forward, buddy.
Still on the lily edge where the trees were.
Get that weight on him.
I'd seen Dan hadn't made a cast to that side of the tree. It feels like he's in the weed.
Keep that weight on him. Keep that weight on him.
I put my cast in there. The fish took it straight off the surface, and I was on.
Oh, he's a nice fish, buddy. He's a nice fish. Get in the net. Yes. And they are biting. Another lovely little fish. Yep, come in there.
That is slippery.
Yeah. How good's that?
He slipped over.
Here are the rules and points guidelines for Eungella Dam. Anglers will fish a 4-hour limit. Their bag will be determined by their 4 longest fish. A legal fish must be caught to register a point. A bonus point will be awarded to the team that catches the longest fish per round.
No 2 days fishing are ever the same. It's crazy.
We continued to grind it out at the initial spot and we hit the 2 primary trees that I could have bet anything on we were going to get a fish. Oh, I cast that grub and that grub hit the exact target. Heart's pumping, waiting for that tunk. And it sinks all the way to the bottom. Cranking my lure again. All right, big long cast this time. Oh,
Good cast.
bang, hits the base of the tree exactly where I'm going. The mind's going, oh, hang on tight, mate. It's going to happen. That sooty's going to hit you. And the line goes slack again. So I'm sort of looking around, trying to see if there's anything different from the previous days, and there's birds everywhere. I'm looking at Dean, and he's silent. I'm silent. We're having a massive conversation mentally with each other, but there's just no communication coming out of our mouths. So it was very apparent this day was going to be different.
We went through that whole area where we basically, I think, caught 6 fish in the round before, and nothing. And there's one last-ditch lot of trees before we leave our entire area. Not to say all areas are in our basket, but this is literally our last chance of an easy fish. Getting very nervous times there for a little bit. Pretty big one, actually. Far out. Good fish. It's a big one.
We had to pull out the big gun, didn't we?
That is a big one.
We had to pull out the big stocks for that.
We thought, yep, things are starting to start looking up. And it was a nice sized fish. Wasn't as big as any of the ones we caught in round 1, but for us, it was a good start, and we thought, okay, we can relax a little bit now. I think that's probably the first time we spoke. Fat fish, but short fish. See you, little fella.
I'm born and raised in the Mackay region, and I love the place. I want to show what the place has to offer. I've been fishing Eungella Dam for 20 years, and I want to showcase that the best I can. Ready? You go that side, I'll go this side.
Okay, ready?
1, 2, 3. Yeah, so we've come into a big tree. Oh. Waz has thrown to the right-hand side of the tree, I've thrown to the left. Waz has got a bite. Oh, come on. He's roaring out here in the deep. And I've hooked up. And I knew it was a nice one straight away. Seen a big boil on the surface. Grabbing that net barrel, netting myself. And I'm just getting the net myself and scooping it up while Waz was still trying to catch another fish. Oh, lovely fish. Lovely fish. He's starting to get up there in size now. It's a lovely fish.
Dan just finished off our bag. We could still see plenty of fish on the other side of the river. We've crossed over there. These fish were actually wide out from the snag, still close to the lily lines.
Any on that tree? That was where I got the 49. Yesterday,
I haven't cast to the left of it, you'll hook up.
That was the bag nice and complete. And then it was then focus time on upgrading. Yep.
Well done, mate. I left that one for you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. We knew we didn't have the best bag at that stage, but at least we had a bag, and it was on from that point forward. I don't reckon he's done yet.
Can't be a brute.
It was ripped out towards the left, and then it started to fight really well. Big drag runs.
We need this fish. It's an upgrade, mate. It's a good fish. Can't be a 50. Come on.
Got it up to the surface and it's take line straight away back down to the bottom.
Oh, don't they go?
Yeah. This must be a nice fish. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a real nice one.
Look at that. That fish was solid.
Let the big girls roll. That one's Serena Williams. That was 2 and 2 casts, so it's put us in a good stead for the rest of the day.
Well done, mate.
Beautiful fish. We need to get out of here soon and catch that limit.
What I've learnt through AFC is the shorter format compared to what I'm used to suits the bass guys because they fish shorter sessions. So in this initial period, I certainly had no doubt to the plan itself. It was more what had happened in the previous day where we didn't have the opportunity to go on the water. That's what happens in the Tri-Series rounds. If you draw the day one, you're happy, you're going to hit those fish first and you're going to be able to make the most of them. Day two is completely out of your control as an angler. You don't know how many fish are getting hit by the other team. So now we're not 1 day behind, we're 2 days behind. Maybe those fish moved off the day before and we're spending too much time on a spot where the other team is able to consolidate on.
All this time that we'd fished our whole area, finally caught a fish, then thought about moving, Firefly hadn't come back. So the only reason they hadn't come back was they were catching fish.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's got to be on. Yep. Oh. Nice fish.
Yeah, he feels all right. He's in the void.
Keep that weight on him.
Saw another snag that looked pretty good and made a cast to that and just let it sink a little bit and felt the tick in the line and I was on pretty solid to that fish. He's not that good. I don't think he'll upgrade. It's hard when you're in the weeds.
There's only one way to find out. Our plan was to fish the area thoroughly. We knew the key was a bigger fish and even 1 centimetre upgrade was going to be what it took to win. So we kept fishing and kept putting our lures in the right spot and we were hoping to get bigger fish. Look, quick release. Look at them. Just rats, man. We fished really hard and we caught a lot of fish in a big run. We were feeling pretty good.
Dan had actually just caught a couple of smaller ones that he sort of poled across the water. Soon after that, I made another cast to the next snag alongside it and I was on. Yep.
Nice.
He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. He's in the weed. He's out. It's a good fish, mate. It's going to upgrade.
Nice. We've done what we wanted to do. We've got a bag up here. Now we can go to the fresh spots. It's a bit of game plan as well because if we'd left it, Dean would have come up here and caught all those fish we caught. And that would have been giving him too much.
So we decided to make a move. We'd pretty much decided our spot was exhausted, you know, so we thought we'll go back to the original first position, we'll start at one end and work our way through. Eventually we'll bump into them if they're there. Nice. I think it was nearly my first or second cast. Basically hit the water, took off straight away. Again, not another big fish, but when you just change locations and you go across and you catch a fish straight away, like, yes, okay, now we can start grinding something out. Helps to calm the nerves a little bit. See you, buddy. Firefly drove past us and Dan's giving us a little wave like he's royalty, like the Queen.
You could tell that he was royalty. Dan looks at this big cheesy smile and he's like, hello. And we're like, oh man, we're in trouble.
I knew straight away though, because of his demeanour, that they definitely had fish and he would know from where we were that we didn't. Basically working away along our second spot, we'd worked along another 100 or something metres with nothing. And I get about 3/4 rail on this spot, start second guessing myself. So I'm just like, yeah, maybe we should go. And I'm hooked up straight away with about, I reckon I had a foot of braid and the rest was leader at my rod tip. That's a joke. So this thing took off and I'm fighting it around, and because you're on such a short tether, and we haven't caught very many fish, start backing the drag off and playing around with this thing. Oh, it's long.
It is long.
I just wanted everything to sit still for a second so we could control his fish and just get it in the boat. That's the shape we want. Long, skinny. But just 10 centimetres longer than that. See you, buddy. After we caught that one, we moved up a little bit further. Liam casts in.
I hit the cast that I've hit about 200 times today already without any success. And the line goes, tonk.
Fish?
No, it's weed, I think.
I could see his rod bent and his line's tracking across to the side.
Oh, it's kicking far out. I'm fighting a fish and it doesn't feel like a sooty,
Take your time.
but maybe it's a lazy sooty, I don't know.
Oh, now it's woken up. What's going on there, man?
I jumped down, grabbed the net. I didn't want to say anything, but as it came across, I thought, something's not right.
Weird. I see the length of this dark shadow. It's the world record of sooties. Oh, I've got to get this in. Then we get the fish to the surface.
Oh, it's a sleepy cod, that's why.
Get it up.
What is that thing?
Yeah, obviously, the only species that counts in this tournament for us is sooty grunter, so a 60-something centimetre sleepy cod is nothing but a heartache.
Go tell your mates, the old sooty grunter, they come to play for us. Tell them Team BCF sent you.
Oh, thought that was the one we needed.
I grew up fishing with my father. We had our own tournaments. You'd sit there and you're trying to compete against the old man and see who can catch more fish or the bigger fish.
As early as I can remember, all family holidays are fishing. So I've basically fished my entire life.
I'm a massive advocate of no matter what sport you do, you try and associate yourself with the best in the sport. I don't think there's any better angler you could potentially associate yourself with in this day and age than Dean Silvestor.
We're basically 50-50 now with he knows as much as I know. We're fishing in the right areas, so I feel we're a stronger team this year than last year.
Once we'd finished with the number 3 spot, we roared out of the river and then went into Waterfall Bay.
I put one cast right in the middle of it.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's nice one.
I think you'll probably hear it.
Where you going?
The actual wind comes out of my stomach when this fish hits me.
Woz got a really nice fish, a really nice upgrade, and then we went in a little bit further and I got a really nice upgrade as well.
Yep.
It wrapped me around a few snags, but I ended up just coaching it out nice and easy.
Quickly get him in there, brother. Quickly get him in there.
So then things went quiet, so we made a move back into the river. And basically, as soon as we got to the number 1 spot, I got a fish straight away, which was a surprise. All the river had been fished very, very hard by both Team BCF and us over the last few sessions.
Come on, get in there. Cheeky little bugger.
Tell you
He's a
what,
long fish.
he's long.
There you go, thanks, buddy.
Well done, mate.
1 centimetre at a time.
This place is a fishing mecca. It's got so much to offer, but to me, the real jewels in the crown are the man-made impoundments with their world-class barramundi and sooty grunter.
You can go anywhere in Australia, I think, and find perfect water, but this Mackay region, beautiful warm days, beautiful skies. Magic spot. Just everywhere you look, there's something different to see. Nice cast. That's going to get smashed.
Later on in the day, we're chasing and we're trying to still fill our bag limit. We went straight across the dam. Last year, when we did it tough, Dean got our 4th fish on this rock wall. He puts in the cast, right up on the rock wall, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Crack. It's probably one of the smallest sooties we've ever caught.
Come on, little fella. So this little fish is taking off and running around, and you just start taking your time because it's our 4th fish, regardless of the size, so it needs to come in the boat.
Well done, mate. It's your 4th. You scared the team again. It's definitely a great feeling to get our 4th fish. Today shouldn't have been as stressful as it was, but for me personally, it was a massive mental barrier out there to just not be able to hawk a sooty.
See you, mate.
I'm on AFC as a defending champ. I don't want to go to the weigh-in without having caught a sooty grunter.
Go on. Good work, good work, good work. Good work, good work.
It's a sleepy cod again.
Oh my God.
What is happening?
Oh my God. We're out of here. This round didn't matter as much for the overall of the series.
Well done, mate.
Well done, mate. Sooty round's done.
But then by the end of our round, I think Liam felt he hadn't contributed. So he wasn't very happy at all.
I was pretty down. As we come into the ramp, I told myself, I was like, as soon as you step foot off the boat, drop it.
Yeah, when we came off the water today, Team BCF were a bit standoffish.
All I could hear was, ho, 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 ho. Oh, that was a great day on the water, wasn't it? Oh, Dan, I had so much fun. Oh, Watha, you're great.
They didn't want to talk to us, and I don't really know what's going on.
Rather than pretending to play happy with those guys, we decided to give them the whole silent treatment.
That came as a surprise to me. I know those guys pretty well, and I didn't think a tournament would make those guys react like that, but we know it's a game on from here on in.
Here are the results for AFC Round 3 at Eungella Dam. Team Firefly caught 14 fish for a bag length of 191 centimetres with a big fish of 48 centimetres. Team BCF caught 4 fish for a bag length of 164 centimetres with their big fish at 45 centimetres.
Well done with this.
This gives Team Firefly 4 points for the round, while BCF collects 1 point.
You'll be all right tomorrow.
Yeah, there'll be no stitch-ups.
Oh, that wasn't a stitch. I swear to God.
I know Dean and Liam are going to be coming in pretty hard at us tomorrow. It's going to be the final result, who's going to win AFC.
Is that why you're so upset? Come here. Come here.
Next time on AFC, we move to Teemburra Dam for the AFC 15 Grand Final. The ongoing feud between teams BCF and Firefly will be decided as they target the iconic barramundi.